Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways, and today we're doing baked beans. By the time this video is released, it should be well into summer season. So we want to start doing some summer recipes and show you how we do those one dish, two ways. So like I said, today is going to be baked beans. I will put all these notes in the recipe in the show notes, but I just want to go over what I did pre-doing this. So instead of buying canned beans, I bought a 1 pound bag of navy beans. I put them in my electric pressure cooker, put 8 cups of water in, and I put it on my bean setting for 25 minutes, and then I let it naturally release, which takes about 10 minutes. I did that yesterday, drained the liquid out, and then I put them in the fridge. So I'm going to use this as my stirring bowl and then put them into the 9x13 baker. Hence why the bowl looks like, because I already used it earlier. I'm trying to save dishes. You know, it's my least favorite part. I think we've discussed this before. So now let's get to seasoning these beans. This is the base recipe. After the beans come out, I'll show you what the second way is that we're going to prepare these. So let's get started with our ingredients. I've got 1 cup of chopped onion here. You can pre-cook that ahead if you really want, but I don't think it's necessary because these beans are going to cook in the oven for 60 minutes. So I don't think it needs to be done. Now, this for me is going to be the main part of my meal, and it's going to be a side dish for Joe. The other reason I am making so many of these is because I want to package these into smaller containers so they're really easy to pull out of the freezer for us. And also some of this is for a potluck that we're going to next weekend. So again, I will freeze those and then take them to the potluck hot. Okay, so we've got that. I've got 2 pucks, frozen pucks of minced garlic right there. I've got my 1 cup of vegetable broth. Nope. Let's put in our tomato sauce first. Now, historically, I know my mom and her mom, when they doctored up the beans, it was ketchup, mustard, brown sugar. That was the base they did to any beans. I am trying to make this a little healthier, so I'm using no salt added tomato sauce instead of ketchup. I didn't realize how much ketchup is in, how much salt is in ketchup. So I'm trying to sub this out because really we're going to get all the flavors from all the seasoning. So that's why I'm using tomato sauce instead of ketchup. So the reason I wanted to wait on the vegetable broth is so we could get all of this out of it. I want to put the veggie stock in here and then switch that around to try to use up all the tomato sauce. That's the point. Oops, some of my, I used the refrigerated veggie broth and some of that didn't melt down. So I'll put that in there. Okay. Now, some recipes will call for you to put vinegar in. I'm going to use mustard to give us that vinegary taste because I love the taste. And this is, I know I've told you guys multiple times, I have a mustard obsession and I have all these different flavors. That's for salad dressing. For regular baked beans, I go with the standard yellow mustard. That's my favorite. So we're going to put that in. There's a 1/2 cup of the mustard. And it's going to be a 1/2 cup. Our sweetener is going to be pure maple syrup. Now, this is where you could go a little rogue and do a flavored maple syrup. We just came back from Michigan and I got a cherry flavor. I would attempt this, except that we're taking this to a potluck and I don't want, it's not going to be just us eating it. Otherwise, I would use the cherry flavored maple syrup. So that's just a little hint. So this is the only sweetener going in is the maple syrup, which is all that we need. Okay, now for the flavors. So we're going to start with some liquid smoke. Be careful. This stuff goes a very, very long way. Now I'm going to use a full capful only because I have 6 cups of beans in here. There you go. If you did not have this many, if you half this recipe, which if you halved it, it would be 2 cans of beans. 1 15-ounce can of beans drained and rinsed is about 1.5 cups. So you can either could do what I did, do it from dry, or you can buy cans. The other thing you could do is, let's say you want to do a mixed medley. You could do navy and pinto and kidney and Great Northern. You could do multiple different beans in here. You don't have to just do navy. I just did navy because that's traditional baked bean. Okay, now for our seasonings. We have 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We have 1.5 tablespoons of a barbecue seasoning. These are salt-free seasonings that I was able to find at a spice store. And 1.5 tablespoons of a steak seasoning. So that's all going in. And then we're just going to stir this up. Joe wants to do a close-up. Now you'll notice it seems liquidy here. But after it bakes in the oven, because we're going to bake it uncovered in the oven, and they're going to get so nice and saucy and thick, which is fantastic. No oil needed. Oh my gosh, these look so good. Okay, so everything is mixed up. They look fabulous. So now it's time to, other thing, if you wanted to make these like tomorrow and you don't have tomato sauce, number one, you could sub ketchup, or you could sub tomato paste and just add liquid to the tomato paste to get you to a 15-ounce can. It's another option for you. So that I don't do this. So this is a stone that's seasoned because I've had it for so long. So we don't need any oil in here. And we're going to put these into this pan. Oh my gosh, don't they smell good, Joe? Already, and they're not even cooked. Man, oh man. Okay, so these go in the oven for 60 minutes on 400 degrees, and our oven is up to temp. So Joe, if you want to open the oven for me, I'll put these in. Thank you, sir. Now, just like with most casseroles I tell you about, once you take them out after 60 minutes, don't eat right away. You need to let them sit for 15 minutes. You need to let those flavors marry, and you need to let that sauce tighten up if it hasn't tightened up while it's in the oven. So we will be back in 75 minutes and try it for you and show you the second way. See you soon. Welcome back. It's been 75 minutes. I took them straight out of the oven, and I have not even stirred them because I wanted you to be here when I stirred them. Oh my gosh, look how much the sauce has just tightened up, and these are perfect. Oh, I cannot wait to eat these. Okay, so these are all stirred up. So let's talk about the 2-dish way. So I always make this basic batch of beans, and then if Joe wants me to add stuff to it, I do it at this point. So in this case, I have got some bacon pieces that he had made bacon for breakfast this morning. So I just took a few pieces, put it in the microwave to heat it up. And so I'm going to add these beans on top of here, and I'm going to stir it. Oop. So I will add bacon to these. It's a little more bacon ratio than I normally do, but other suggestions are you could pull pork. You could also pull brisket. Now, or if you have leftover ham, it's another way to use that ham up. You could cook the meat in here, but because we're doing this for both of us, I'm not doing that. So I'm going to, now, how would we serve these? This is the most important question of the day. I would make baked potatoes. And then he would grill some meat, and I would make broccoli. So for me, I would open up that baked potato, put these beans on there, and have a side of broccoli, or half my plate would be broccoli. And he would have this as a side with whatever grilled meat and the baked potato. So that's how we would eat it. So are you ready to try, Joe? Come on in. Okay, they smell good. Can't wait to eat them. And that, the only sweetener is that maple syrup, and they are perfect amount of sweetness. They're not overly sweet. And if you see, they're not all caramelized because it's just I don't know. Sometimes when I had too much brown sugar back in the day, just my pan would be coated and it'd be so hard to clean. These are good, huh?
It's just like regular baked beans for the most part.
So I can now, let these cool, and then I'm going to put, like I said, probably most of this in the freezer and just leave a little bit for us to eat in the next couple days. So we need to know, what summer recipes do you want to see us make 1 dish 2 ways? Please comment below. If you know somebody who likes baked beans, share this with them. And if you like what you're seeing, if you could like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it so we can keep bringing you content that you'd like to see. So thank you all very much. And we'll see you next week on One Dish, Two Ways.